Hey everyone, welcome back to SecureDApp. This is your host and host Kunal as always, and today we are back with SOX Compliance video. So before going into SOX Compliance, let me just explain what it is. But we will explain it, but let me introduce myself. I'm Kunal Chaudhary, Marketing Associate as well as Community Manager at SecureDApp. I'm graduate in Media Studies Honors from University of Kalyani, as well as I hold a diploma in Computer Application from Harvard School of Business distance. I'm a Web3 enthusiast as well as a blockchain and cybersecurity enthusiast. So this was my intro. Let me tell you about SecureDApp, what SecureDApp is. SecureDApp is a leading blockchain security firms specializing in smart contract audits, decentralized application development, and comprehensive compliance solutions. We help businesses to secure their blockchain operations, ensuring projects are safe, reliable, and aligned with industry standards. So I'm not alone today. I am joined with a very well-known chartered accountant as well as a person who has lots of knowledge in this field, Mr. Dinesh Kherodia. So he is the head of CISA and he is a CA at SecureDApp. So Dinesh, over to you, my friend, and can you just introduce yourself to the audience and after that we can start the video.
Hello friends, CA Dinesh Kyodia this side, and I am a Visa and CISA certified and currently associated with SecureDApp. So we are now launching our services, IT audits and SOX compliance and ITGC controls related audits, and yeah, we can proceed for today's session like on SOX compliance.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Dinesh. Thank you.
Kunal. Yeah,
Thank you for the introduction,
okay.
Dinesh. It is such
Yeah,
a pleasure to talk with you. So before that, let me just tell you about the collaboration that we have. Startup Sarthi and SecureDApp have joined forces to address the growing demand for SOX compliance audits in light of SEBI's recent regulatory directives. This strategic collaboration aims to help startups and financial institutions strengthen their compliance posture by combining SecureDApp's audit expertise with Sarthi's startup ecosystem reach. The initiative ensures readiness for tech lead governance standards. Together, we empower organizations to stay audit ready and future proof. I hope so. You agree on this, Dinesh.
yeah, true.
So let us straight away begin with the questions that we have around SOX compliance. To begin with, Dinesh, for someone new to the term, what is exactly SOX compliance and means to them, and where did it originate from?
Sure, Guna. Yeah. So SOX stands for Sarbanes-Oxley Act. This act was passed in the US in 2002 after the major corporate force. You also heard about Enron and WorldCom, like that was the
Exactly.
biggest scams in the US. And the reason behind this scam was due to the financial misreporting and actually, IT controls are so weak that they are not able to, the companies are manipulating the financial statements. So the SOX was introduced in the US and that was introduced to enforce strict internal controls and audit trails in public companies. Because in public companies, investors' money is involved. So to protect the investors' fund from misleading, this act comes in the US first and this SOX compliance is applies primarily to US listed companies, but Indian or foreign companies which are also operating in US or planning IPOs in the US also come under this purview.
Okay.
That's the basic introduction for SOX compliance. Yeah.
Okay. That was really informative, Dinesh, from your side. So the second question is, a lot of people think SOX is only about finance and accounting, but is that the full picture, or is it especially for tech-driven companies or for everyone?
Initially, yes, that it focused on primarily on financial reporting. But today, like the financial data flows through various ERP systems, CRMs, databases, which all are tech driven. So IT controls are also now part of SOX. Before it was financial reporting was considered in SOX compliance, but now IT controls are also a core part of SOX. If it fails, like if IT fails, financial data becomes unreliable. For example, if any company, if there any missing in the IT controls, so the financial data also becomes unreliable. So SOX is just as much about IT security, access controls, and change management. That's the thing.
सही है दिनेश, आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा। सो ऑब्जेक्टिव्स की अगर हम बात करें, कुछ की ऑब्जेक्टिव्स सॉक्स कंपाइलेंस की, वो क्या है और वो पर्टिकुलरली किस चीज पे एम करती है इन मॉडर्न ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और मॉडर्न फर्म्स इफ वी टॉक अबाउट।
SOX compliance का प्राइमरी ऑब्जेक्टिव है ट्रस्ट बिल्डअप करना। ट्रस्ट किसमें बिल्डअप करना? तो स्टेक होल्डर्स में ट्रस्ट बिल्ड करना ही प्राइमरीली ऑब्जेक्टिव है सॉक्स कंप्लाइंस का। इट इंश्योर्स कि एक्यूरेसी ऑफ फाइनेंशियल्स, लाइक फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स में कोई मैनिपुलेशन नहीं हो, ट्रांसपेरेंसी, ऑडिट ट्रेल्स एंड डॉक्यूमेंटेशन एकदम ट्रांसपेरेंट हो, एंड अकाउंटेबिलिटी, लाइक एवरी responsibility is assigned clearly. So modern businesses use SOX compliance to establish governance over how financial data is created, processed, and reported. So the objective of SOX compliance is to build trust, I think. I say.
ओके, गॉट योर पॉइंट।
Yeah.
So which type of businesses typically fall under SOX requirements? Is it only for publicly listed companies or others are affected too?
Typically, SOX compliance is applicable for publicly listed US companies. But any company with US listed subsidiary, for example, if any Indian company is operating in US, or any Indian company or foreign company wants to open subsidiary in US, also need to comply with US SOX compliance. Foreign private issuer FPI is also covered under it. And pre-IPO startups, for example, any startup wants to go for IPO and listing, they need to uh, do SOX compliance. And any private companies looking to improve their governance also voluntarily adopt SOX to build trust with investors. For example, if any private limited company has adopt SOX compliance practices, then it will build trust among the investors.
Okay.
Yeah.
So any private US based company, if they are investing in India, I think they need to do the SOX compliance thing audit.
No, it's like opposite. For example, any Indian company wants to open subsidiary in US,
Okay,
then they
okay,
need to adopt SOX compliance. Yeah.
okay, got your point, got your point.
Yeah.
So how
For
do the
example,
in
holding companies in India, and they want to establish a US subsidiary, listed subsidiaries in US, then they need to comply for SOX.
got it.
Yeah.
So how do the internal controls under SOX differ from general IT or financial control companies that might already have it?
Uh, for example, most companies have general SOPs and controls, but SOX requires, what is the primary difference between SOX and general control? I will make it easy. In SOX, we will request formal documentation, like everything is documented, who is doing what is, who is doing what, and how they are doing, and when they are doing. So everything should be documented it involves periodic testing. Like it's not about only document the things. Periodic testing is there, and it requires independent review and sign off also. And SOX compliance is focus on key controls over financial reporting. Like it's a key focus on only on key controls. Like and SOX controls are like audible and defensible. Other unlike informal internal processes. Like that's the key difference between SOX and general controls.
समझ गया मैं। तो
Yeah.
अगर हम बात करें सिक्योर्ड ऐप की, सो हम सिक्योर्ड ऐप में ऑफर क्या कर रहे हैं एसओएक्स कंपाइलेंस को लेके, हमारे क्लाइंट को क्या मिलेगा? हाउ विल दैट हेल्प टू आवर क्लाइंट?
It starts with the SOX readiness assessment. मतलब कि आज अगर कोई SOX compliance के लिए आता है तो basically what we will do initially is we will do a gap analysis between what control exists versus what is required.
ओके।
And this include reviewing their financial systems, what are the financial system they are using, what are the access logs, who is access to what data, what are the user roles, their data flow diagrams, documentation or lack of it, if any lack in documentation. This all will be covered in SOX readiness assessment, and we assess their maturity, and then we will recommend a plan how to implement SOX compliance in their organization.
गॉट इट। So
Yeah.
is there any specific roadmap or sequence of steps that we follow during SOX engagement at SecureDApp?
Okay. Yeah. So SOX has a structured step-by-step journey. So first step will be scoping. Like we will first analyze which systems and processes are in scope for SOX. Then we will do their risk assessment, like where is the vulnerabilities lie. Then we will do control design, what controls are needed to remove the vulnerabilities. The controls may be manual and automated as well. We will also do walkthroughs, like we will interview various stakeholders to confirm process flow. Like we will ask all the employees, we will do interview them like what need to be done, and then we will confirm the process flow. Then we will do testing. It includes control testing. We will test their controls, design, and operation effectiveness also. Then we will then next step is remediation. Like we will fix the gap, what control exactly need to be implemented and what exactly the controls are, and then we will provide them audit support. Like we will help the company face external audits confidently. So this will be the roadmap at secured app. Like if any client come for like SOX compliance, that thing we will do.
Okay, if I am a client, I will be really interesting. It will be
Yeah.
really interesting for me to get all this done. So, one question that comes to my mind is how do we bridge the gap between IT systems and finance team when both need to be aligned for this kind of compliance?
Yes, that's a very amazing, good question. So IT and finance often speak different languages. IT terms are completely different from finance term. So finance may not understand technical configuration like what is the firewall, what is the IT security, and IT also may not know the terms like what are the debit, what are the assets, liabilities, and may not cared about their financial
Exactly.
implication. So our job is to create a documentation, workflows, and bridges like risk and control matrices. So both teams collaborate with shared understanding, like both teams is on same page. That's it. So the only the we can help them with the documentation, workflow, and bridges that will help to bridge this gap. And our
सही है.
job is to create that documentation, workflow, and which,
और दोनों का जुड़े रहना बहुत जरूरी है इस तरह की
yes,
ऑडिट्स के लिए.
right,
बिल्कुल.
right.
सही है. तो टॉकिंग अबाउट टूल्स, दिनेश, what are the what are some tools or technologies we typically use during SOX compliance process at SecureDApp?
So, the tools help us to automate, track, and document all the SOX related activities. So, the tools we will use is Audit Board and Workiva, like GRC platforms. These are the GRC platforms to document controls and testing. Like with these platforms, we will document all the controls and test it. Next, we will use Power BI and Table A. These are the data visualization tools to track control effectiveness. Like, and we will use Jira and Confluence for issue management and documentation, especially in tech teams. And smaller firms may use Excel or Google Sheets, but we help them structure it correctly. So this is the list of some tools we will use for SOX.
Sure. So we heard that businesses need to do this SOX compliance. So talking about businesses, are there any difference in approach or something like that based on the industries that we work with? For example, if there is a fintech company, we have to approach that differently. If there is a SaaS company, we have to approach them differently. So is there any difference in our approach during the audit that we are talking about?
So, like, if the uh, client which is coming is fintech, then they need tighter financial, they have tighter financial system controls, and we need to check their encryption and fraud check because IT is more involved in this type of industry. Then, for example, if SaaS client is come, then we need to control who assesses what features there. We need to ensure their billing systems, and this will the approach will be different for them. And if the client is of, for example, blockchain, then we need to have more control over their smart contract deployment. For example, uh, SecureDApp also. So we need to assist their smart control contract deployment, their key management, their consensus mechanism. So each industry has unique financial risk. So our SOX framework adapts accordingly for different industries.
Okay. So for different
Yeah.
industry, we go for different approaches. Right.
Yes.
Okay. So next हम बात करते हैं दिनेश की what are the some common gaps or red flags you usually see when assessing companies' SOX readiness?
जनरली जैसे हम लोग कभी सॉक्स के लिए जाते हैं तो we observe like no access logs or periodic access reviews is mechanism is there in organization and no formal approval process for any change in code or configuration. Uh, for example, single person in some organization, single person tendencies is there. Like from beginning to end, everything is done by single person. Controls exist, but there is a no tested or documentation is done by the organization. Next is lack of awareness about SOX even requires. Many companies even don't know like they require SOX compliance, and they also not aware about the what needs to be done. So these are the common red flags we observe during SOX readiness checks.
Okay, got your point. So from a governance and trust building perspective, how does SOX compliance impact investors or boardroom confidence?
So, like SOX help companies to gain investor confidence. Like if the company is SOX compliant, then confidence level of investors is on high. It avoids massive penalties, like because in US and as per regulatory reforms also, the companies need to follow SOX compliance. If there is a non-compliance, then there is a massive penalties also, and it will also identify process inefficiencies also. And the most important thing is this will help the companies be IPO ready. For example, if the company is SOX compliant, that means the governance is good, the trust is good, and risk reduction is also there. So SOX equal to governance plus trust plus reduction.
Okay.
Yes.
So if someone has SOX compliance, it is already IPO ready. You need to say that. You
Yeah.
mean to say that. Sounds good. So with so many emerging fraud risks, so this is a very important question in my opinion. So emerging fraud risks and tech vulnerabilities, how relevant is SOX today in 2025? And has it already solved something or we are just talking about it?
Okay. So good question. Like SOX is very important in current environment. For example, if we take example of Paytm application or any tech platform we will take. So the importance of SOX compliance is like it ensures that only authorized users can access the systems and data can't be tampered with, like because the all the companies, IT companies and tech driven platforms are data driven. So it will ensure that data can't be tampered and every financial transaction is traceable. Because in SOX, we focuses on audit trail. So this all will give confidence to the board and investor. So that the company is serious about transparency. So that will boost the investors and board confidence, like SOX compliance. That I will say.
Okay,
Yeah.
got your point. So how long does it typically take to become SOX compliant? And what should company prepare for time and resource wise?
Okay. So for completely any organization wants to SOX compliant, it will take around 6 to 12 months as a standard. And the company need various people for implementing this. The person should be controller, IT lead, and SOX consultant. These three-person will be needed. And company has also budget for their tools, training, consultants, and internal team time as well. So it's an investment, not just a task.
Okay, so it will take
Yeah.
around 10 to 12 months.
Around 6 to 12 months generally it will take,
Okay, it might
depending
take
on the company's maturity.
exactly, it might take longer
Yes.
as well.
If the company is a big, giant corporate, then it will take more time also. Yeah.
समझ गया मैं. तो
Yes.
दिनेश मेरा लास्ट क्वेश्चन एक है अभी हम लोग बिफोर वी एंड दिस सेशन. So for anyone who is watching who still the SOX compliance is just a formality, or what would you say to shift their mindset?
So I will say like SOX compliance is an asset. Like it's not an overhead or it's not an expense. It's an investment for the company. And SOX is not just a rule book. It's a business enabler. It prevents fraud, boosts valuation, and helps them scale securely. And as our motive of SecureDApp is also scale securely, so it will help the companies scale securely.
Sure.
That's the final message from my side.
Okay. So final message this, but any other final message on this SOX compliance before we just end this session?
I will say like if any company is thinking about IPO and wants to boost the valuation, then they must do SOX compliance. And those companies who are planning to set up their operations in US, then SOX compliance is must for them. And any private company wants to boost the transparency in their organization and make their IT controls strong, then also they need to do secure SOX compliance.
Okay, thank you for your
Yeah.
time, Dinesh. It was really a pleasure to have you here. First of all, I like to interact with you whenever we have a chat like this. So it's really a pleasure to meet you and talk with you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kunal. And yeah, we will also organize some more sessions on these topics.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure, definitely. I would love to do that. So for the viewers, if you like this video, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, families, and colleagues. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, SecureDApp. Follow our LinkedIn channel, SecureDApp, blockchain, as well as cybersecurity services. You can also follow Startup Sarthi's LinkedIn, and I think we have Startup Sarthi's YouTube channel as well,
Yes, we
Dinesh.
have.
So you can subscribe to Startup Sarthi because this collaboration means a lot for us as well as Startup Sarthi. We are bridging the gap of SOX compliance as well as ITGC audits. So don't forget to subscribe both of our channel. So this was Kunal and that was Dinesh Kerodia, and we take a leave for now. We will surely meet again and have a session like this in future. But till then, stay safe, stay secure, and as always I say, stay ahead. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dinesh.